Hi, I'm Roger, a regular guy with a hotline to spirit. So this episode is me sharing a reading, not that a reading I did, but a reading I'm going to do with you right now with a recent guide that has come in. And this guide actually says to me now and said to me earlier that the one that is recent is me because he's been around all along. So, and the reading is on our evolution. And he wants us to know that this period in time that humanity is going through, experiencing, he doesn't even care for the term going through, experiencing, is evolution. And when you come back, we're going to do the reading. I'm going to share it with you. See you in a bit.
Gande ho gai he hayun dayaho gai dayaho. Ha.
So here we are, you are, I am, we are, being. And a guide comes in, his name is SERAPIS Bey, and he wants to offer his perspective on what we are experiencing right now together. So this is a in the moment reading. He is saying that beings and beingness is a experiential, faceted thing indeed. We are not having just a transformational, he says, of course, almost like with the eyes rolled back. It's very direct. He wants us to see it as it is, which is as an evolution. How can you evolve? How can you become that while being that, or still doing this? Because we're doing what we're being, and we're being what we're doing. So that has to be then taken from us, not taken away from us, but he says he wants to make it really clear. Nothing has been taken from us. We actually gave it. We elected to give it away in order to evolve into this over here. So we are evolving. He says, if someone is learning to ride a bicycle, I am a bicycle rider, I'm a bicyclist. That means one who specializes in the riding of bicycles. He says, how can you be that if you are one, you just walk? You cannot become that. And for a long period of time, we have just been walking, wanting to be something else. He says, and that was not happening. You just became very good walkers. So how do you become very good at something else? And all of you are experiencing that now, aren't you? And he says that with such a smile and so much pride. There's so much pride and love that comes in from this being, from SERAPIS Bey. And he says it's his and the company of heavens, or the company of life. He says, because we tend to think that heaven is like a mile up and you make a left. He says, no, it's all around you. He says that would be absurd. That is absurd. He says, know that what we call heaven, all the lived in very full dimensions are around us, surround us. We are in them, and our access to them is in us. So he says, how can you become a bicyclist if you are specializing in walking? No, you have to give up walking, right? He says, so what has happened, what is happening, is we've gone from walking to training wheels on a bicycle. And we've been on the training wheels for months now. And many of you, us, including myself, have become impatient with the training wheels because we want to just get going. We want, okay, we get it. And he's saying, oh, do you? He says, because that state of aggression, of wanting to either get back or get to, is not the level that clearly states that we are advancing, but we are instead expressing anger and intolerance with ourselves. And he says, and that is very good. And we might say, but he says that's very good because that has to come up to be dealt with or to be let go of. He says everyone wants to say release. No, you have to say, oh, what is that? Wow. It becomes about a me thing, about, oh, it's not them or that or what's that. It's my own stuff. He says, that's excellent because your stuff is not your stuff, for none of that is you. So, and you recognize that in witnessing it, and you then let it go. So he's saying we're on the training wheels of becoming great bicyclists. And many of us, he says, like on those training wheels, there are moments where we're off the training wheels, even though they're still connected, we get centered. And we get to go, we can feel ourselves, we're bicyclists at last. And then and thank God the training wheels are there. He says that's where we are in our evolution. We are evolving, he says, into the great beings that we have always been. And nothing is happening or being done to you. This is not being done to you. It is nobody's fault. Nobody's creating it against you or at you, or it's from a different source other than yourself. He says nothing ever can happen to you, us, that is not of our own design, that is not of our own being. Everything we experience, we call in order to advance. And what are you doing now? You are advancing, you're evolving into new stories, new identities, new ways of being. And in those new ways of being, you become something you have not been. You as a group become something that is more accurate and closer to what you are, something that is truly exquisite and most accurate in the representation of what you are. Representation meaning this is beingness, and this thing, the reality that surrounds you, is the representation of what you are being. And so you, by evolving, your world will change. And he says, there, now do you understand the wisdom of what you have put in motion, what you are doing, what you are realizing here and realizing around you. It is all changing because you are changing, and you know that on a soul level. So you started the change by saying, I am no longer that. What am I? But I know I'm not only no longer that, I can't go back to that because that no longer is. And we're looking left to right. I no longer want to go back to that. I want to do it differently. This has been very freeing. This has been empowering. This has been a gift. And who has brought this gift to you, to us? You. The wisdom, the greatness of your soul brings it to yourself and to all of humanity. Humanity is evolving with a lot of muscle, making sure it's not going to go back, but go up in vibration, up in the full expression of what it is. We are most proud. We stand beside you. There is not a moment, a thought, an action, a breath that you experience or take that we are not in it with you. Thank you for being the extraordinary, that's the closest word I can choose that what comes in, selection of beings that you are. You are this chosen that have come here to do this change, this evolution. You are interrupting the he describes it as a historical timeline, the timeline in history of how things. Okay, and here we are in 2019, and then 2020, and then 2021. It just rolls over, and yes, this was invented. And he said, nope, you've completely disrupted it, interrupted it to change that progression by changing what you are. So we stopped rolling the camera, and the episode was finished, complete. And then all of a sudden this came in, so I share it with you. SERAPIS says, with a lot of energy or enthusiasm, he says, come on. He says, you know, you are pregnant with so many potentials, so many things you want to do and experience and give and create and be. He's inviting us, you, me, for us to come clean with what was. He says, could any of those really come to fruition being what you were, the way the world was? No. This has been a wonderful time of discovery. This has been a wonderful time of building. This has been a wonderful time of new vision, meaning perfecting your joy of, or your enthusiasm for being here and finding a way that, now I can do it. There's this new surge of beingness, of energy. So that is why he says, we say, you are pregnant with so many potentials, that this evolution of being, this way of being, this new, almost like a highway, pathway, has opened up for you to bring all of those in. And there's this excitement. The laboratory is open, the space of creating is open, the abilities and all the energies that go into bringing forth whatever it is, and I'm not even sure what it is, but I'm excited of just being here, has come forth. And in that excitement, there's this birthing of ideas and wonder and possibilities, and that energy that is the spark of life, that is you, is now back in the mix. And humanity once again remembers what it truly is, in truth is. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Ring the bell so you know the next time I release a video so you can watch it. And give it a thumbs up so it helps the channel grow. Thank you so much. Much love to you, much joy. Go enjoy creating a wonderful, wonderful reality.